Hello and welcome back to the StrawHatLucas YouTube channel. We are back for another rousing session of One Piece D&D with this lovely crew, the Sakura Pirates. I'm going to go around the table and let everyone say hi and tell us who they're playing. Starting out with the first mate, vice captain of the Sakura Pirates, Mr. Kiryu, played by JoshuaVykthor. How are you doing, Josh?
What's good, YouTube? It's a boy. And I'm here to bring the heat.
The heat. Let's go. Next up is the gunslinging cowboy himself, Mr. SSJ8 Cody, playing Arthur Morgan. How are you doing today, Cody?
For my fellow Sonic enthusiasts, we're out here playing some more One Piece D&D, so make sure you strap in and strap on.
No, please don't. Next up is the deafened man, Angel's Room, playing Iron Mitch. Angel, can you hear us? He cannot hear us. Okay, so that will move us on to the good man, Lord Vegeta, playing Lord Abyss. How you doing today, Ragnar?
I'm doing pretty good. What's good, y'all? I'm playing Lord Abyss. I'm a shadow man, and I live in the shadows, literally and metaphorically. So
that's what's up. And last but certainly not least, the newest player to Group 14, Mr. NoChillDill, playing Kief Moon. How you doing, Dill?
Yo, what is up, YouTube? It's your boy NoChillDill here, playing Moon Kief in this campaign, and coincidentally, I've had two people come up to me and tell me that I was a part of a band previously, and if I had a nickel for every time, it'd only be 2 nickels, but it's weird that it's happened twice.
Fair enough. And I'm sorry, that Phineas and Ferb quote got me for a second. To lead us off today, right here, right now, the man who puts this whole thing together for us, the man who is the narrator of this world, the one who weaves our stories together, it is the DM, Mr. ToriMori.
Yo, what's good, everybody? Thanks for joining us today here on session 13 of the Sakura Pirates Adventure. Thank you to my players for being here today, as always. And for all of you joining in chat, good to see everybody and be back once again here on Thursday. Yeah, a little recap of our adventures over really, I guess, the last 2 sessions since leaving Panangea. The Sakura Pirates began their official adventure north, still chasing the Viver card that belongs to Kiryu's sister and tied to her location. There were a few passages over the next morning heading north. Namely, Arthur had the handling and disposal of the short-time resident of the belly boat, Gene Takovic. Arthur also went through a little bit of a discovery of strange discrepancies between maps over the centuries of the South Blue, and looked into that a little bit. Tyokanis, the long time, at this point, out of session, technically, companion of the Sakura Pirates, departed for home, deciding to head there to warn his people of something, spurred on by meeting Leadbelly. And after, along with a giant South Blue lamprey attack, Mitch also got the new pet Glory, the ocelot. As the crew came upon Rashwan Waters, they entered pretty vicious battle with a division of the Rashwan Coast Guard, the Night Cutter Squad of MFP. This was led by the co-captains Knight Rider and Toe Cutter, who the crew took out pretty brutally. Knight Rider and his Lady Knight were both killed by Leadbelly after defeat, and Toe Cutter was left with a slash across his back, marking him as a member, or as a figure of Leadbelly's victory, along with some of the other survivors. They were helped by the MFP lone man, Jim Goose, who had a very prompt getaway before the crew wound up at Old Beach Haven, the first stop in their adventure in Roshuan, where they took a little detour to the Shoreside Saloon, which featured some very familiar faces. Before we jump back into session today, I've got the beginning of a new cover story to feature here for us. Let me get it pulled up real quick. Once they saw Lyfoon lying against the building with the purple knot growing out of his forehead, they all ran over except Nick. All he could do was survey the scene, tossing his jacket flaps back as he put his hands on his hips. Zoe cried out Lyfoon's name and tried to rouse him, but her focus drifted between Nick and the stump where the Marine's neck ended. Her stomach roiled. Lyfoon's eyes finally fluttered open when Portbelly licked his face. He chuckled and pet the dog. "First time you were ever gentle with me, buddy. Thank you." Portbelly responded to this by biting Lyfoon right on the hand. Nick stormed over. "Your buddies sure know how to shake things up, Cap," he barked sarcastically. "How'd they get away so fast?" Lyfoon seemed to take in the scene for the first time, staring at the carnage around him with utter confusion. "I don't know," he finally admitted. "This was Leadbelly's doing?" "Yes," came the small voice from the alley nearby, also full of dead, dying, and injured. They spun their heads toward him. Nick pulled his gun instinctively, but lowered it as the little boy emerged from behind the crates, clutching a small amount of money tight to his chest. "Portals," he added. "What was that?" Zoe asked. "What did you say? Portals?" He had a known fascination around town for pirates, yet at the sight of their carnage, he had nothing but fear on his face, tears and snot dribbling down his cheeks, and a trembling which had set in his knees. He pointed at Nick with a shaky hand. He asked how they got away.
Full disclaimer, yes, we did do that.
I did not do
Here.
anything. My innocent man. If you brought me before court, you have no evidence.
Exactly.
It's true, we do live in the land of trials. As we come over here to this rough overmap of the Roshuan Kingdom, we are down here on the edge of the beach at Old Beach Haven, in the present, of course. But as we begin today's session officially, we are going to start off with a flashback. Now, this flashback starts off hazy and sweaty for the member who it pertains to. It is flashbulb snapshots of being unable to find the right position in bed, to whips being brandished against people with no clothes on their back, to everything under the sun, to the misery under night. Visions and dreams of standing aboard auction blocks, visions and dreams of the shaky sea below a pirate's deck. Kief, as things become more vivid and you snap out of these flashbulb dreams, there is a faint song in the back of your head that echoes as much as your breath does as you wake up in a cold sweat, panting, out of breath, and looking up at this huge room which immediately looks like a sterile clinic, even despite your disoriented state.
What was I just seeing?
You're still a little bit out of it. in this huge bed to your small tontata form. The sheets kind of pulled up over your body, like tucking you in. But yeah, it's certainly not designed for a little fellow like you. And you notice, as your senses slowly return to you, there at your left is a man who is dressed up rather flamboyantly with a big top hat, a bright red ringmaster's jacket, as well as pinstriped boots that laced up halfway up his shins, made of some sort of bright leather. His head is bowed, so the brim of his hat obscures his face. But you see a small grin as he slowly angles his head toward you, and he goes, "Excuse me, I caught a little nap myself. You're awake again, I see. Hi, I'm Mr. Mantang."
Did you help me?
He gives a little chuckle and leans forward and shakes his head as he clasps his hands. He goes, "From the top, okay. Yes, my friend, we helped you. Do you know what day it is, by any chance?"
Is it Gar's Day?
My friend, you have been through an ordeal. Can you tell me anything about your time or even who I am? He
I
stares at
don't
you,
even know who
and
you are.
he nods as you say that. He stares at you and strokes his chin, and he says, "My friend, I'm sorry to say, this is about the 6th time we've met under these exact same circumstances. Have you, I don't know, is there any sort of memory you can tell me? There was one time you woke up. You gave me your name, Moon Kief. You were delirious, but you are Moon Kief. Is that not your name?"
I think so.
A big smile erupts on his face now, and he laughs. It's a real, genuine, heartwarming laugh, and he goes, "Yes, there we go. Okay, we're on the right track." And he pats the bed, kind of encouragingly, and he goes, "Okay, now," and he points to the bedside table on your right, where if you look, you would notice Kief's bongos. As he points, he says, "What do those mean to you? Those drums, those beautiful drums of yours?"
Well, they kind of look familiar.
Yes, yes. It was hard to even make you let go of them so my doctors could treat you. You were very tied to them, very attached to them. There was one time, after the first time you woke up, you were delirious in bed. I don't know what sort of night terrors you were having, but you were thrashing around. We couldn't restrain you. It was like there was a beast inside of you. And you grabbed those drums. And as you talk to Mr. Mantang, he begins to cry. And he just holds a hand over his mouth as he trembles, and he says, as you set to playing those drums, it was the most beautiful thing I'd ever heard." You're a musician at heart. I know that to be true. If I could get a Constitution save from you.
Gotcha. Let's go.
as he says that, you do feel a spasm shoot through your body, and it will start in the back of your mind, but trace down your spine and wind up on the brand, which, as you stare at it, you're filled with more of those hazy, unsure visions of cruelty in your mind. You can't think of it too much. You shut your eyes kind of against your will against it.
Ah,
Mr.
Did I-
Mantang says, are you all right? Do you need somebody? Do you need help? I'll call a doctor.
did I live through these things that I'm seeing?
If you say that, Mr. Mantang, his worry over the pain, the very obvious pain you just exhibited, will sort of vanish. And he leans forward even more on his seat and steeple his fingers together, and he goes, "What do you see? Tell me."
I saw blocks with people of all different kinds standing on them. And some astronauts on the outside?
Roll me, and it could be insight or active perception.
They're the same either way. Go.
Okay, at an 8, Mr. Mantang he gives a slight little nod. He goes, very interesting. Peculiar dreams indeed, but nothing to worry yourself with in the light of day, proverbially speaking. And he chuckles and gestures toward the window, leans back in his chair and relaxes now. You can tell as he does that, it's night outside at the moment. But as he crosses his legs, he points at you, Kief, and he goes, "You have a miraculous talent, my friend. You still need bed rest, don't get me wrong. When I bought you, before I freed you," he turns quite serious all of a sudden, "you thrashed against yourself. It took all the strength I had to keep your arms from beating yourself. That was when you entered this coma. I'm very glad to see you awake."
World.
Do you have any questions for me?
Moonkeep, knowing the pain started from his head and then went down to the mark on his body, he starts to look at it more and asks him, what is this?"
Ooh, At that question, Mr. Mantang's eyes will flicker down to the brand and then dart back up to your eyes and go, he will say, "It's precisely what I want to know." You feel free to roll me another same deal, perception or insight.
Let's go.
Wow. Okay. At 19, you're going to notice a faraway glimmer in Mr. Mantang's eyes. And it very much speaks of... 19's pretty good. It very much speaks of what your mind can only describe in a moment as like lustful desire, It looks like there is something intensely wanted in Mr. Mantang's eyes.
Well, I don't remember much. And this pain in my head, it seems to be connected.
Mr. Mantang takes a moment. He blinks, and then he nods. He seems more relaxed again. He leans back in his chair even more, drapes his arm over the back, and kind of rubs one of his eyes. He goes, It's something worth getting to the bottom of. You've clearly led a life before this that afforded you in such turmoil, where I would need to buy you a person. He shakes his head now and takes his hat off, just kind of holds it in between his knees as he stares at the floor. All the people I've bought. Can you imagine it? All the money, all the fuel. You have just awoken. We should not speak of such bitter things. You have a talent, and, he points at you, I have a very good job for you, if you would take it. Of course, you need your bed rest. You've just now awoken. I want my people to take a look at you, give you a once-over. But he smiles big and wide. It's a huge, toothy, bright white smile, Kief. And it almost instinctively just fills you with confidence. He nods and says, I think you are back, Moon Kief. And we are so glad to have you.
Well, I'll be in your care. And then Moonkeef kind of like passes out from the pain.
As you do, the last sounds you kind of hear are Mr. Mantang giving you a faraway well wish of good sleep, understanding you must still be tired. You can't really make it out, but at the end you hear like a piercing through the veil of music that returns to the forefront of your mind, his chuckles. And we will come back here to Old Beach Haven, here a little bit on the overmap. We've got the belly boat docked at shore, and pretty much everybody is over here in the shoreside saloon. Lots of reunions happening. We'll keep it kind of focused over here on Kief as we return to the table where Henry the Horse's big band has gathered for the day. You guys decided, Henry the Horse's club isn't gonna open for some time. You don't need to be back until 6:30 for rehearsals, so it's all good. You came here to get away from the circus for a bit, just quiet things down. You heard about this little town down shore. You guys are waiting on your soup and enjoying some drinks when Leadbelly and his crew happen to walk in.
Are you sure you don't remember anything at all, Kief?
Mr. Mantang said that I had a gift for music.
You do. You're one of the best percussionists I've ever seen in my entire life, if not the best. The things you do on your bongos, let alone any other percussive instrument you pick up, is otherworldly, godlike almost.
As you say that, Leadbelly, around the table, his bandmates, specifically the younger fellow over here, Beetle Brown, who was at the piano, Leadbelly, and June Red, the girl in red over here. They all have to nod at what you say, but when you say the godly thing, Beetle Brown shoots his gaze up, and he just kind of glares over at you, and he goes, "Music is wonderful, but it is not godly."
You're right. It transcends God. It is how we as humans rise up to be gods. Don't you know that? That's what art is. It is God speaking through you. The sun god speaking through you.
Okay. Let me see.
Leadbelly is high on performance right now, by the way. And drunk a little bit. He has drank. And he cannot hold his
Roll
liquor.
me slightly unorthodox one. Roll me a religion check.
Oh, okay. Oh, this may not be good. 7.
It's okay. 7. Okay, so Beetle Brown he'll kind of just scoff and chuckle, and he settles into his seat and he drinks his big mug of ale. He's like, "Whatever you say, you are good at that."
Could you repeat the last part, please?
He said, "You are a good player, though. I'll give you that. Whatever your beliefs."
That is true. I do know a good jaunty tune. What does everyone in your band do? I know you play piano. Kief obviously plays drums, because I don't think any of you guys are going to outdrum him. But what do you do? And I point at this guy right here. This one that was like scoffing. It won't let me ping him, but the one that was like scoffing at me before, last session.
Yeah, the
Not the one
younger
in the-
looking guy.
Yeah, not the one in the hat, but the one whose face is like close up.
Yeah, he is Corky Blue. He plays trumpet
Corky?
for the band. Yeah,
A
his name is
brass
Corky
player.
Blue.
Most impressive. Your breath control must be immaculate.
Yeah, I used to be a smoker when I was 8, and I kicked that habit, but I took up music to keep up the lung capacity. It's done me pretty well.
A smoker? Like you would like stand over a fire and breathe in smoke? Why would you do that? Makes no sense at all.
He's got one elbow on the table as you guys converse, and just a blank stare crosses his face, and he's like, yeah, I used to stick my head over fires. Yep.
Okay then. And Luffy style gives him a thumbs up. Like Leadbelly has canonically never seen anyone smoke a cigarette or anything like that. So that is his interpretation of what smoking is. I'm gonna turn to, I believe her name is June. I don't think Leadbelly knows that yet, and be like, "Are you the singer? You got a singer vibe to you. The white hair says it all."
Indeed I am. You have a good eye about you. June Red at your service. And lead singer of Henry the Horse's big band. You all should come see us tonight. We'll put on a good show. And
You guys
if
have
you
horses
like
in your
what you
band?
see... Well,
How
he
do you get
plays
their
with us from
hose?
time to time, but he technically owns our band. And it's just one horse.
Wait, the horse owns the band?
Well, he owns the club, and we're the club band, so he technically owns us.
Oh. Well, I
But
don't
he's
like
always
anyone
playing
owning
and singing
anyone.
himself and dancing. Well,
That
it's
just
not
doesn't
quite
sound
like
right.
owning. He just owns the business. Trust me, there is no slavery at Mr. Mantang's. That's in the bylaws.
At the word slavery, Leadbelly's eyes are gonna like shift a bit, and he's gonna look over at Kief and then look at this woman again, and just say okay again, but he's just gonna nod like okay. And then I'm gonna point at this guy with the hat and the sunglasses, the cool looking dude, and be like, and by your calluses on your hands, I'm gonna assume you play a bass.
He's sipping from his beer as you say that. He'll flash you a like genuinely nonchalant peace sign, and then he just readjusts his seat and he says, "I'm Purple Jack. I play bass." Yep.
Yeah, I love the name too. Is that a stage name or is that real?
He sighs. He leans his head back. And he goes, "It's my real name."
That's awesome. That is awesome. Leadbelly's a stage name, but keep that between us. I wink as I said that loudly to everyone around this table.
Squints, and he leans forward as you say that, and he goes, "What? What the hell are you talking about?
Oh my fucking
That's
god!
not your real name."
I forgot you were here, Squint. No.
I'm not that invisible.
No. I know, I thought you were with Arthur. Whew. You're kind of creepy when you sneak up on people. I want you to know this. No.
I've been here the whole time.
Well, no, it's not.
Well, then what is your real name, Captain?
I'm gonna look at Kief and see if he can recall my real name. And I'm gonna say, Kief knows it. Leadbelly's like trying to jog his memory still. He does not fuck.
Yeah, your mind, your memory, all you can think of is this guy who you've just met in the last like 30 minutes essentially, and a little bit peppering of that janitor from Mr. Mantang's, Mystical, who was very disfigured, came up claiming to know you. Very, very strange occurrence. But yeah, from a 6, yeah, you're not getting any clues.
I'll tell you what, Squint. When Kief remembers my name, that's when you can know it as well.
Oh, a big smile erupts, a big toothy grin on Squint's face. He goes, "I like the sound of that game." Kief, he's going to kind of clap you on the back, sort of, but I guess he's just going to pat your back bongo. And he's going to go, "There you go. We're both in this together now, Kief."
Mine's Squint, Kief. He's a bit of a character.
I
Sorry.
think it's coming to me. Is it bedwetter?
No. Weirdly close though. Like Leadbelly like squints and does like the confused Luffy face, like weirdly close.
Porky Blue is gonna laugh. He goes, "Bedwetter." he strikes me as kind of a bedwetter, yeah.
Hey, what's that guy's name? I'm gonna ask Kief and like point at Corky.
Oh, well.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm Corky Blue.
He's
Corky? Your name's fucking Corky and you're trying to laugh at my name? My man, you're holding a bag of L's with that one.
Ooh, he stands up, kind of squares up his stance and slams an open palm on the table. And he'll point his other finger at you and go, "Hey now, easy what you say about the family name. We may need distance between us, but I still represent them, you dig?"
Oh, I feel you. Family members are important. If Kief wasn't this special to me, I would have already laughed in all of your faces. I feel like the only one who probably has real musical talent is that guy with the purple name. And Kief, of course.
Ooh, Kief. As he says that, I'm gonna say this would kind of like this is gonna kind of bypass a check. You've spent a lot of time with your bandmates in the big band, and you know they all have talent. People audition for the big band all the time, but those are like more of a formality. Like the talent is found and sort of applied, and you guys are kind of the best of the best.
We are worldwide talents. All of us. Everyone that performs in Mr. Manting's band. We're all the best in our areas. No, not a single one of us is lacking in any qualities.
Kief, coming from you, I'm not gonna lie, that's high praise. But maybe I just don't see it.
Well, we gotta have a warm-up before we go to Henry the Horse's club for our show later.
Ooh.
What do you say, group?
Yeah, Beetle Brown will also, as you guys are talking, the barkeep walks over with a tray of 5 soups. She starts putting them down on the table in front of the big band. And Beetle Brown, as he gets his soup, he starts blowing on it and he goes, "They can come. We'll give them a discount at the door. Come and see us play, and then you'll see. You'll see you shouldn't badmouth our talent."
Well, I'm not bad-mouthing your talent, but so far, the only thing I've seen from you guys is this one, and I'm going to point at the man. Leadbelly cannot remember his name, and above table, I cannot remember his name. The one that plays piano. And I'm like, all I've seen so far is his subpar piano playing. Now, I'm not trying to insult you, but I want to see what everyone else gets to see. And if you need a warm-up, why not just do it here? I'll even make it interesting. If you guys, we will play simultaneously. And if you guys get the people in this room moving before I do, I'll leave you alone until your performance, and I'll come see you guys, right? And I'll pay full price. But if I get these people moving before you guys do, we get in for free, and Kief, you entertain this idea that I know you. You let me help you find the memories a little bit. Battle of the bands.
I love that. Purple Jack will chime in, and he'll be like, "Nobody can get you in for free, but we'll see if we can get a discount if they agree." And he's just like shakes his head and blows on his soup.
What is that? I'm sorry. I didn't hear the last bit.
He shakes his head and blows on his soup, and he kind of mutters under his breath, but like loud enough for you guys to hear, obviously. He's like, "We came to take a little break from music. We do this all the time."
Break from music? What?
Our whole lives are music.
Same.
Brown is just sort of eating his soup. He's let this off from marinate a little bit. He's downed it way faster than anybody else has. Like, most of the rest of you guys in the big band, Kief, are like still kind of blowing on it, taking like tepid sips. He's like scraping the last dregs out of the bottom, and he sets the bowl down. He gives a little burp and he goes, "Okay, I like your little game. Not too many of us in here, so it'll be easy to count. you've already played. Why don't you go ahead since you're already warmed up yourself?
Easy. And I'm gonna point at Purple and be like, "Can I borrow your bass?"
I didn't bring it. Ooh, the
You didn't?
piano is the bars. It just happened to be here. And
Okay, so
Kief always dragging his drums around.
I can't play the drums. I suck at that. Kief knows this. Well, there's
Do
a
I?
violin on top of the. Yeah,
Kief
you'll
history.
remember soon. He said Kief history. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh
I
no,
love
that was Keith saying, "Do I?"
that.
I know, but even still, off of what Leadbelly said, either way, history. Okay,
Yes.
yeah, you look at him as he says, you know this, and you're like, you're full of confusion. You don't know anything about this guy.
Do I know this? I don't even know you.
So I grow 2 arms out of the piano. Like, I'm gonna stand pretty close to it.
Before you begin, I do love this idea. I want to cut to the other
Okay, yeah, hell
players
yeah.
before we have the challenge, just to kind of see what they've been talking about in the meantime. Let's pan over here to the rightmost part of the bar, where we had another, a little bit of a smoother reunion, I guess you would say, last time between Arthur and his previously believed to be deceased friend Lenny.
Lenny. Hey, how are you alive, Lenny? Lenny, I gotta introduce you. This is my best friend, best pal in the whole world, double team tag team champion of the wrestling ring, Iron Mitch. And yeah, Leadbelly. That's my Captain Leadbelly. He's a pirate, and oh, Lenny, I'm a little drunk.
He'll first walk over to you, Mitch, and he takes your hand excitedly. By the looks of things, Lenny is a little drunk as well. He shakes your hand enthusiastically. He's like, "Oh man, it's a pleasure to meet you. I think I've heard about you. You're a wrestler, right?"
The greatest of all time.
Okay, nice. Well, it's great to meet you on the ground up. And then he looks over his shoulder at Leadbelly over here by the other group, and he's like, "Do you see your captain's a pirate?" So, and he points his finger at you. His eyes get a little wider. He's like, "You've taken to an official man of the seas, huh? I never would have guessed that."
Well, you know, when you live your life on the land, you feel you've done too much wrong. You have to go do good everywhere you can. And being on the seas is a good way to get from island to island, place to place, face to face, and make a difference in this world.
Mitch will nod and said, "Yeah, that's truly our goal, to make a big difference."
My goal right now is to help Mitch become the best wrestler this world has ever seen. We're gonna get an island. We're gonna, and he starts slurring his words because he's getting drunk here. And he's like, "We're gonna get an island. We're gonna take a whole island into a wrestling ring, Lenny. Yeah, we're gonna throw Mitch from the top. He's gonna body slam the government officials. Fuck them Navy people. He's gonna fuck them up in the ring 1-on-1. We're gonna say." We're gonna body slam everyone, Lenny here. Lenny!
Oh, as you're saying all this, this drunk guy who kind of siphoned 2 drinks off you last time, he was drunk from the moment you guys walked in, and he's like rosy red in the face. He comes over, wraps an arm around you, and he butts in. Yeah, and we're gonna get some more drinks, right?
Yuck, you're fucking gross. Get your hands off me. What the fuck? Who do you think you are? I'm straight. Can I roll a strength check this yucky, ugly? I heard his voice and I already know he's gross. I'm in a strength.
Yeah.
Is that a strength, or what would I roll to
Yeah, just
get
give
this
me
guy off?
give me a raw strength. Yeah.
13. What do you think
Well,
you're doing? Get your fucking gross ass groovy hands off me. I don't even know where you've been. I don't even know your name, partner.
Oh my goodness. As you do that, he's pretty drunk, so at a 13, he takes a stumble back and then trips over his own heel. He goes down over here by this table. That startles Glory up onto the counter. And the barkeep is going to trot over very quickly and say, "Hey, no fighting in my bar. No time of day, not at all." And then she points at Glory, Mitch, and she goes, "No animals on the bar. You're lucky I let her in at all. Get her off." And she'll shoo Glory back down onto the floor.
Okay, everyone. This is character development. Because Arthur would hear no fight, and he would immediately pull his gun out and kill this man. And say it ain't a fight if he's dead. But today, Arthur's drunk. And Arthur's feeling it like he said, it's not a fight. I just don't want his hands off me. He's gross. Look at him. Look at me, sweetheart. He's pretty gross, ain't he? He's pretty yucky.
She sighs and actually, roll me a persuasion.
What? No! I'm drunk! Why would you do this?
She just sighs and puts her hands on her hips and just walks away. She's done with that conversation.
Wait. Excuse me, barkeep.
Yeah, you need more drinks? She looks between the lot of you and goes, "Careful, I don't want to cut you off."
Were you at a wrestling event in the past 10 years?
She scrunches her face up and leans her head forward. What? I mean, maybe. Which one?
One snoring Iron Mitch Johnson, aka me.
She'll just kind of shake her head unsteadily and go, "No, I'm sorry, that's not ringing any bells. No."
Okay. Well, you see, I'm on a journey looking for my son. Have you met anyone who has the child of a professional wrestler?
Her nostrils flare and she just nods and it's like a half nod and a half like shaking her head no at the same time, and she's like, "Yeah, wow. No, I don't know anybody like that. I'm really sorry. It's a big kingdom though, so
No,
good
don't
luck.
be sorry.
I can help you." And she does finger guns at you guys. "I can get you guys drinks though."
As she's talking to Mitch and I failed my sweet talk on her, I wanna Arthur's drunk, and one of the things he does when he gets drunk is he's gonna start taking as many lemons from the bar counter as he can. And I wanna see what I can roll to try to see if I can slyly take some lemons away from this barkeep as she's talking to us.
Okay. How many are you trying to take?
I'd say a good fistful. Like lemon wedges. It's like
Okay.
8 or 9. Sleight of
Okay.
hand or
Yeah, just roll me a sleight of hand at just flat.
okay.
Wow. That's insane. And I honestly it was a difficult DC and you still got past it. Yeah, she's more focused.
Lemons.
She, by the looks of things, even as drunk as you are, she does not notice. She makes no motion toward you. She's more focused on Mitch and her conversation with him.
Hell yeah.
Lenny will walk over here and he'll be like, you know what? Yeah, 3 more, 1 for each of us. And he takes a shaky look at the guy who is having a hard time getting up off the ground. We'll go, "I'll get 1 more for him too." And the barkeep sighs, like very emphatically, and she's like, "Oh, great, okay, right on it."
What is your problem, lady? Did we offend you or something?
No, I just no fighting in my bar, and please don't encourage him too much. His death is coming slow, but he insists on making it drinking himself to death.
Well, just stop him. Just tell him no.
I'm
Tell
his
you what,
only
I'll
friend.
drink his drink. I'll drink his drink, and you can be even better friend for not letting him drink. It makes sense because you're saving him from drinking more. Mm-hmm. Beer man.
She's got a just really unsure look on her face as she brings over 4 mugs of ale over here, sets them before you all. And she just crosses her arms and shakes her head, and she goes, "Honey, look, I've lived here a little while now, and old Rockor has lived here even longer. And he's been drinking since he was talking, from the sound of things. Take a look at him. Look at him. Look at him. Look, you think there's like any hope for him?" And he's finally up. He's like leaning on the stool and the table and panting. He like winces. It looks like his tailbone took a little hit. But more than that, he's got like gray skin, and he's really skinny. And you don't even need to make any sort of check, just off your passive perception. I mean, he looks really sickly.
I'd like to go up to this old man and be like, "Old man, have you met the son of Abyss or the child of Abyss?" No, son. I don't know why I changed it.
Wait. I'm sorry. You're coming through a little buzzy. What did you say?
I said, Mitch is gonna go up to the old man and ask him, have you met my son?"
He looks at you unsteadily. He's still very, very drunk despite the hit. And he looks at you, blinks a few times, and then claps his hands on the side of your face in a warm manner. And he just smiles and goes, "Son!" And then he shakes his head and goes, "I mean, Dad!" And he'll just give you a big hug. What do you say we drink to celebrate? This is grand. A reunion of the finest proportions. Lxrd, 3 rounds on my dear old dad here.
No. Look at that. You don't want to die. Anyway, how old is this man?
What's your passive?
13. No, I'm asking.
The 13, I mean, like ballpark, he looks like 90-ish.
Oh. Yeah, you got the wrong guy. I'm not your pops. Anyway, let me go up to the bounty hunter. Arthur.
Yeah, I'm fucked up. Mitch, lock in. I think this barkeeper is into me. She doesn't notice I've been taking her lemons.
Yo, make sure you're gonna pat him on the shoulder and say, "Hold on, forget about the barkeep. You can do whatever you want to do with her later. But I need your assistance as a bounty hunter."
Bounty hunter? Who are we hunting? I'll kill him right now. Tell you what,
No,
I'll point shoot.
We will. We can't kill them.
What's the name? I'll pull out my bingo book and ask him the name. Who are we looking at? I got a big old book.
I don't know their. Hopefully, their last name is Johnson. If it ain't Johnson, we don't have a problem. But
okay, would you let me roll a history check to look through the bingo book for John.
Yeah, it's gonna be really easy, but yeah.
Okay. History check. Hey, dirty 20.
All right. Yeah, there's no mention of anything in the bingo book.
Mitch, there's a John Cena. There's a John Messiah. There's no John Cena though. There's no John Cena. You think maybe we want to take in a different name? Maybe he's under an alien's nest. Aliens. Sorry, I'm fucked up, Mitch.
Hopefully, my son is not pregnant. Like, I'm trying to find my son.
Your son? Oh shit.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, he ain't gonna be in a bingo book. I mean, where'd you last see him? Did you put him down?
I ain't never seen him.
Did you put him down?
I think I saw it before.
Like maybe it's like a pair of keys. You just like don't remember where you left them. Like, did you check your packet?
I couldn't have left them somewhere if I never had them.
I mean, I get what you're saying. Like, you know what we need to do, Mitch? I hear these government guys. They got these snail things. And what we can do, we hijack the snails. We take them over, and we make them all say, "Hey, it's Iron Mitch, and if you're my son, come and get to me, bitch." I don't know. So I'm Mitch. I'm barely keeping coherent here. I am seeing. The room is spinning.
No, but as you say that, Lenny snaps his fingers. He goes, "That," and he lets out a little burp. Then he goes, "That'll work. That's really good."
Yeah, see, Lenny knows a good plan. Lenny, remember that plan that guy? Lenny, how are you alive? What? I mean, what's going on? Oh my God, I'm
Lenny.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, my bad. After you.
I was gonna say, these snails you speak of, how do I get my hands on? How do I find a marine with these snails? Basically.
We'll have to get in touch with the captain. Maybe we'll find a way. Maybe we'll find. The captain know how to do it. Captain knows everything.
The captain didn't know what money was.
Captain didn't know what money was. He didn't know what wrestling was. But I'll tell you what, the captain, if there's a way to find, like, we didn't know how to find the guy's sister, but we're on our way now. So if we tell the captain, we can get on our, you see what I'm saying? But we gotta find the A to get to point B. We gotta get to, this is so fucking tough. Oh my God.
Yeah, I'm gonna say we're gonna pan down the bar here and check in with Kiryu, who has sat over here by this rather fine and distinguished looking gentleman who is drinking a little some sort of a cocktail. It's like bright red, orangish, looks delicious, and he raises it up to you silently with a little smile as you come over to the bar. The barkeep will come over here. She's gonna say, "Can I get you guys anything? Abumi, you good?" She points to the gentleman. He just nods. She points at Kiryu. What about you, newcomer?
All right, so what do you have? Something maybe more strong?
Sure, you want a shot of spirits, you want some wine, you want some, I don't know, I got some sangria left from last night. It's still good. It's just, not super fresh. Still good. I had a glass.
Yeah, I'm gonna try that.
Okay. as she heads over here to ready that for you, Abumi is gonna raise his glass and go, I like the spritz, but the sangria was good last night when I stopped in. Good choice.
Yeah, I haven't tried that before. And pretty much I want to try everything.
Oh, it's very, very good. You've got to try it fresh next time, though. But Allegra does a very nice blend of just about anything. You can trust whatever she comes up with.
Nice.
She'll come over and deliver that back to you and go, here you go. Want to start a tab or
Thank you.
just pay up front?
Yeah, I'm gonna start a tab.
All right, sounds good. Let me know if you need anything, guys.
Alright, perfect. Yeah, look at the guys. Yeah, busy night, huh? A lot of reunions.
It sure seems like it, I suppose. Your friends, they seem quite boisterous. Unusual for this little town. But it's quite quiet today. Everybody's over at the circus, I guess. That's where I'm heading myself after a few drinks.
Yeah, probably we are gonna go to that after everything
really?
comes down. Yep.
Wonderful, wonderful. Well, maybe we'll walk up together then. It'll be fun. I've heard great things about Mr. Mantangs. Incredible the way that they came over the red line. Incredible.
Came over the red line, you said. How is that possible?
If you want to roll me a history check, I think that, yeah, this article was released. We'll see
Bold
if
of you
can
to ask.
recall it.
I read the newspapers. Yeah, history. Good enough.
Oh, 18 is no, 18 is great. You'll recall in the news it was widely broadcast that Mr. Mantangs was catching a lift from the Germa Kingdom, who were using their massive dendens that were, castle bound to cross the red line so that they could do this South Blue tour. Mr. Mantangs, is a North Blue traveling circus. So this is a pretty unprecedented thing, this South Blue tour for them.
Oh yeah. All right, I need to get my hands on that technology.
I suppose some would call it the beautiful technology of life. They are quite incredible, I'll admit, but I'm sure you could just buy one that's been raised from a breeder.
Yeah, but also it's more fun to recreate it sometimes, or augmented.
Interesting. You remind me of myself when I was a boy, but alas, we all have to grow up at some time. He extends his hand to you then and goes, Klein Abumi. I'm the proprietor and salesman over at Old Beach Market. How are you?
Well, I'm Kiryu.
Kiryu,
Just explorer on the seas.
Oh, a band of brigands, it seems I've met. Well, don't worry. He kind of like leans in, puts a finger to his lips. Don't worry, I'm not going to tell the Navy. Not that they could stop here anyway.
Yep. Would that be the first ones to stop us? To try to stop us?
Ubumi is just gonna kind of toss his head back and laugh at that. He finds that really, really funny. Oh, you're a riot. You're a riot. It's good to meet you all.
Yeah. Also, wouldn't you heard something about a girl with blue and blonde hair going around the island?
I'm not remembering anybody of that description. Sounds like pretty crazy hair. Does she belong to the circus, maybe?
Nope. I mean, another kind of circus, if you can say that.
He laughs at his joke. Is Kiryu laughing too?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, okay, okay. He'll just chuckle and stroke his little pointy beard. He goes, "I'm sorry, I have never met anybody by that description, my friend."
Well, yeah, she is my sister. Like, you can see there. Like, we share the same crazy hair.
I see, I see, I see. Well, I'm sorry to hear you two are separated. I hope everything is all right and you have safe travels finding her.
Yeah, I'm gonna find her sooner or later.
He takes a little sip of his drink and scrunches up his face in pretty obvious mock concern, and he'll be like, "Oh, so if you all blew into town and you're on a very dire mission, do you need any supplies? I would be more than happy to go and reopen my shop for you, get you restocked with food, medicine, water, anything you need."
Oh yeah, that sounds nice. Very nice.
Wonderful, wonderful. We'll enjoy our drinks and then we can head over here. You should tell your friends too. I would be happy to offer a little first comers discount.
Yeah. What else are you selling there? Just normal things?
I have a wide inventory, my friend. I supply many travelers who come through here, and they have special interests more often than not. Of course, I supply the town too with the odds and ends, but my wide inventory is usually what takes the cake.
Because I really want to look into that. Like, we do more rare things.
The what things?
I don't know, rare technology, rare minerals.
Yeah. He nods and he goes, "Yes, yes, indeed. Well, I'm remiss to tell you my stocks are not quite so flush these days since the embargo, but..." And he just kind of purses his lips. He considers you a moment. He nods and goes, "You all seem strong and brave to boot. There should still be some midnight ore in Old Beach Tower. I'm sure you saw it on your way in. Big
Oh,
tower,
really?
still standing from the old days."
All right. Can you tell me more about this? Or
Sure. It's surely you know a little bit about midnight ore. It creates the finest weaponry that Roshuan has ever known. It's a shame it's not still standard, but seems like everything is going to degradation with the passage of the ages, doesn't it? Forgive me my digression. Too many spritzes. Well, I used to go up into the tower and take the ore and sell it to travelers who were heading to mining villages or were interested in fulfilling contracts with the world government. This and that. Sometimes independent travelers such as yourselves too. Things got a little dangerous in the tower though. The last time I went in there, I heard strange noises, groaning, like the tower was alive. And by the time I got up to the 4th floor, where the really good stuff is left, there were these golems that crept down the stairs. They came right for me, lumbering. He shuts his eyes and shakes his head. I pray, ask you to forgive me. It was the scaredest I've ever been in my life, but I ran, and I've not dared to go back to salvage anything since. But
that sounds
you
interesting.
all are brave. Go ahead and go check it out. I know for a fact there's still some midnight ore up there.
Yeah, for sure.
I guess at that point, it'll be a good time. We'll say that's kind of when everything converges. Everybody's conversations converge, and Leadbelly and Beetle Brown head to the piano. Beetle Brown's gonna stand over here. He's kind of got like grease on his lips from the soup, but he crosses his arms and watches you, Leadbelly, as you head up to the piano.
Okay.
For this, go ahead.
I was going to ask a question. I would like to scan the
Yeah.
room, see if I can't tell who would be the hardest person to make dance, and then try to gauge what type of music they listen to.
Okay. You can roll me an active perception to see if you get higher than your 17. If you want.
Okay.
I'll say that 17 is pretty good, but I'll just take the higher of the two.
The 17 it is.
Okay. Yeah. The 17. At the 17, you have this inclination to think it'll be, Corky Blue over here, who you've had some headbuttingness with. You've already come to odds with him a little. But a 17 will just barely clue you in that the really hard one to impress is going to be Purple Jack down here, who he's still enjoying his suit, but he's got a little eye trained over toward the piano's way. What was the other part of that? You wanted specifically what you think the type of music would be.
Yeah, that would to make them move. Yes.
For him, at a 17, your natural inclination is gonna, your mind is gonna think. I guess it would be called something different in the One Piece world, maybe not. But we'll roll with the earthly terms of you're thinking some bossa nova. Something syncopated, something with an intricate rhythm, maybe something understated.
Okay, cool. So I start playing a very bossa nova-esque riff on my lute. I'm just like dun 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 dun, and then two hands will grow out of the piano and start playing a very similar rhythm with a melody to match it as well. And then the violin on top of the piano, my two arms will also grow there and start an accompaniment to my bossa nova suite. And I'm just going to vocalize as well. I'm not actually going to vocalize. I'm sick right now, so I don't want to try to sing, but I'll vocalize as well. Do I need to roll performance?
Yeah, please throw out a performance check.
Okay. Fuck. 15 is low for me.
Yeah, at a 15, it's starting off pretty good. Solid intro. It kind of does hit that understatedness, and you do see over there at the bar, Lxrd, the barkeep, as you would only know her, I guess. She has come over to the bar with nobody to serve at the moment, and she's staring at you, and she's got her head bobbing. She's liking it a lot. As you're heading out of the, we'll call it, I know this isn't technically musical, but, bear with me for gameplay's sake. As we get out of the first act of the song, roll me another performance for the second.
Yes, I will go into a sweeping crescendo as I roll into a solo. And let's see if that solo hits. 17 is better than a 15.
Yeah. To the player characters, totally your choice if you dance or not, by the way. You do not have to roll anything or, check anything. Like Squint himself, by all his own free will, he's getting up and he's dancing along now. Not very good. I'm not gonna lie, but he's dancing along to it. Even Kiryu next to you, Klein and Boomy, has kind of petered off on the conversation. He's turned in his seat. He's moving in his chair. The drunk Rockor heads over here. He'll start dancing with Squint. For the third act, Leadbelly, I'm going to want this one at advantage. Another performance check.
I'm going to grow another arm out of my left arm, which is my fretting hand, and begin to play more notes as fingers grow out of my right hand and begin to pick the strings even faster in cadence, playing the rhythm and lead at the same time. You said at advantage?
Yeah. You barely gained advantage off those first two. Oh, we're back to those
29.
near 30s. Wow, nice. Yeah, you're pulling it together here in the final bit. 29 is pretty great. Lenny over by Arthur and Mitch, he's dancing along. Glory, not going to dance or anything, but even she hops over here on this stool and just stares at you, Leadbelly, as you play. Allegra and Abumi are going to kind of get eyes for each other. She comes around the bar, and they join each other in a little dance together. Similarly, Corky is going to round the table, and he's going to ask June for a dance with just his hand. They start dancing.
Let's go!
Great.
Oh, this is perfect.
Beetle Brown is keeping his composure this time. Even though he is your competitor, he is not betraying any emotion. He's keeping his arms crossed. He's just kind of slightly glowering at the piano. Do me a favor, Leadbelly. And if you want to roll me like any sort of wild card play with a just raw 1d20, if you have like anything special you want to throw in here, as things are kind of picking up, this is the point where Billy Joel's standing up, I would imagine.
I'm gonna grow I'm gonna grow 2 more hands out of the piano. Like 2 more sets of hands, so 4 hands total out of the piano, and start going fucking wild on it. Damn it! I flopped on the
It's okay.
It's the vocals. The vocals did it. I start singing. I'm like, she's the ugliest girl on the beach, and I still want a piece. Oh, I'm not a good person at all.
As you're finishing it off, things are in full swing here at the Shoreside Saloon. Corky is kind of tossing June around and like catching her, and Squint and Rockor are just like like doing the wavy hands. It's kind of fun, despite there not being too many people in here today. Your eyes are on Purple Jack, who has not moved at all. He's just been eating his soup the whole time. By the looks of things, rather unimpressed. He finishes his soup, he half turns to you, leans on his elbow, stares, and you see that foot set to tapping, that head start to rocking. Corky Blue, as he is like swinging June Red around, he goes, "Hey, you're not half bad. I would say that's about as good as you're going to get from old Jack."
Hey, let's go. Nice. I will finish off my piece then. I feel like I got pretty much everyone moving. Wait, does the crew like nod their heads at least with the music that I'm playing?
Yeah, you guys count, and I did not hear anybody, any of the others players say if they were moving. But
yeah, this is up to you guys.
If you're moving, let it be up noon. Okay.
Yeah, Arthur Morgan's hitting the Hikari dance.
Oh, let's go. Kiryu. I just pictured it like a...
He's up on the bar doing that.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Now that
Alright.
Allegra has left behind the bar, I also want to roll another sleight of hand and steal some more lemon wedges.
Okay, I'm gonna say that counts as part of your boogie. You don't even need to roll it. She's far enough away. She's focused on dancing. You take
Let's
that
go.
handful. Sounds like just about everybody here in the bar is dancing except Mitch. Nice. Beetle Brown, as you finish off the song, I imagine. He just kind of lets out a little like gruff grunt and he goes, "Not bad, not bad. Let me show you how a pro does it."
Okay. The floor is yours, and I will go sit in between Kief and Mr. Purple Jack. I can tell you were a bossa nova man.
Jack will just kind of look at you and nod and he goes, "All right, yep. But don't call us a bad band again, just because you got a little bit of talent too. Watch this." And he points at Beetle Brown as he leans forward again. And he's going to pull a pack of smokes from his jacket pocket. He pulls one out, puts it in his lips, and he gestures at himself and he goes, "By the way, this is smoking." And he lights the cigarette.
Where I grew up, they only do that out of a large pipe, and then they like freak out for a few hours.
Oh, and a peace pipe. Wait, that was a real
Exactly.
Wait, did you get a card with that pack, sir? I've been looking for a warlord. I've been looking for a Kuma card for my whole life. You know, I just saw someone with a dope flamingo one, and I was like, dang man, I would love to get
years
my.
in the past, you are drunk.
What are you talking about, man? I
need the playing card from your cigarettes.
I'm sorry, I got the Landon Ricketts one, but I threw it away because I'm not 10.
Smokes on your palate. No wonder. Yeah. Call it. Rebel.
Hey.
You're lucky I'm being good, Captain.
Corky Blue is going to pipe up and join the conversation. He'll just shout out, "Hey, we're jazz musicians. It's what we do. Don't judge us." As
jazz, as long as it's not freeform jazz.
We don't discriminate. Any kind of jazz, baby. We like it all.
Oh man, freeform jazz is just a cacophony of sound, but all right. I want to see this. Let's go.
Yeah, everybody kind of settles down after that dance. Allegra and Abumi bow to each other. Rockor doesn't stop. He's still just dancing away. Squint has stopped. He has taken a seat again, but the drunk man is still just standing there dancing. As Beetle Brown hits the piano, he starts playing a deep... It starts out like a jazz accompaniment, but as his fat fingers sort of effortlessly glide across the keys, he plays something that is undoubtedly beautiful. You all are moved by it as this jazz chorus seems to emanate from the piano, even though it's only one instrument. He doesn't have the added capabilities that Leadbelly had. If I could please get an intelligence save from all the players.
Oh man.
What the fuck?
My
Wow.
crew's betraying me. Damn. My shadow starts moving because I think that's where is that where Abyss is? Where's Abyss? I know he's in
Abyss
here with
is
us.
in Mitch's
I'm
shadow.
in Mitch. I'm in Mitch.
That yeah, okay.
You ready, Mitch? Hey, yo.
Pause.
Rawcore, the drunk, is just going to instantly start dancing a little better. You guys notice. Kief, yeah, you're pulled into a state of dance. You can do it atop your stool, I'll say. It's probably small enough to be a dance platform. Let's see. Yeah, Abyss. Go ahead and drag your token out. You are spurred to dance so hard you are pulled completely from Mitch's shadow. So go ahead and throw yourself out somewhere near him, and you are moved by the power of dance. As what started out as kind of a sweet jazz accompaniment, light, airy, has turned into like a full-on chorus, and it's rocking out a little bit now. His bandmates are going to get back up. Corky, June, they're going to dance. Purple Jack is going to stay still.
No, wait. What's the saving throw for this?
It was intelligence. Yeah.
So what's the
4.
DC? What's the DC?
Yeah, I guess I'll let you guys know this one. It is 19.
Is Allegra already dancing with someone?
She and Abumi have started dancing again. Yes, sir.
Fuck this.
I have a way to get out of this, but I have a way to get out of this, but I don't think it's worth it. I'm gonna do it.
Yeah. Well, so what saving throw is this?
Intelligence.
I don't think I can resist the boogie. I could just go belligerent though. I could just go crazy. Intelligence saving throw. Yeah, no.
Arthur, too, is lulled into a state of dance. I still need one from Leadbelly and Mitch.
I'm going to use my
you.
variable ability. I'm going to try to resist this as much as possible, Captain.
Let's go.
What a goat. Sure. Yeah, I'll flavor that as you get a slight compelling to help your captain win that spurs you on. Nice. Leadbelly, best with the 14 so far, but you too are moved to dance.
I think I fail still.
Unfortunately, yeah, that just gets you to 15. Excellent effort. Very valiant. Kiryu, on that fail, nothing too major. You are compelled to dance with the drunk, the stinky old drunk guy.
I think I would, at that point, I would just pass off drunk from that crit fail.
Nice. Leadbelly, as you get up to start dancing, Squint is going to slam his hands on the table. He is still, and he is not jamming along to the music. He goes, "Come on, Captain. Get yourself together. You can't let this guy win."
You're right, Squint. Can I sit back down? Or am I still compelled to dance?
You can roll me another intelligence save.
Okay.
Just do it flat. Be kind. Same DC.
Oh my god. Where's Mitch when we need him? I would.
Yeah,
I'm
unfortunately,
dancing,
you're
Squint.
not
I can't help
compelled.
it. The music is taking control of me.
Yeah, is Angel AFK at the moment?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I missed that. My bad. In that case, unfortunately, I'm going to say Mitch absolutely is dancing. I'll say like the four of you are kind of dancing. Like, I guess they call that box dancing. Is that what that's called? Yeah.
Like line
you guys
dancing?
are like in box
Box
step
dancing?
together.
Oh,
Yeah,
I see what you're
guess.
saying
Not
now. I
quite
see
line
it.
dancing,
I
but
see what you're saying in my head now. I get you. Yeah.
they're in sync. They're in
They're
clear
like, don't
sync.
break my heart, my achy breaky heart.
Is this is what he's doing a concentration ability?
No, it's not.
Damn.
He plays along. So far, we've just got Squint sitting, Purple Jack sitting still. They're both still. Looks like everybody else is dancing in the bar. Oh man. Beetle Brown finishes off his tune. He's looking around as, you know, people kind of peter out, tallying up heads.
Wonderful performance. Wonderful. And I clap for him. I knew if I goaded you guys enough, you'd play for me. I had to see the band that Kief was playing with in an unadulterated setting, you know? With the crowd and everything, the hype can overtake you, and you may not focus on the performance as much as you would in a much more intimate setting as this. You played wonderfully.
Yes, yes. But do you know the head count? And he crosses his arms and smiles. Remember the terms of your own proposition.
I do. I think I won. Everybody but Mitch was dancing for me. Wait, and you.
And that little shadow friend you all had, he came out to dance for me.
He was asleep.
Jack, still counts. He was here. By my count, I had 12 folks in the house dancing and moving. No thanks to you, Jack. And Jack will just scoff and say, what can I say? Sorry. I had 12, and I believe you had 10. Unless, Kief, I counted you as not moving. Were you dancing at Leadbelly's playing?
Abyss is gonna say, technically, I don't count as a person. I'm just his shadow. Dives back in.
Yeah, see? So it's 11-10.
Well,
we may have a tie on our hands. Was Kief moving during my performance?
I heard you say he was. I missed that if Kief was. I had Kief counted as not dancing.
I don't think Dill ever said.
Is Dill there?
Yeah, what was it?
Was Kief
Were
moving?
you dancing for?
Yeah,
go ahead.
he's on the stool that he's on, and he's kind of dancing in and around his bongos.
Yeah, were you dancing for Leadbelly's before?
He was tapping a bit.
Hey, that's a count. That's a count. We got the people
Okay.
moving. That's 11-11,
In that
my
case-
friend.
Yeah, as you guys, I guess, discount Abyss, Beetle Brown furrows his brow, crosses his arms again. He's like, oh, a tie? Really? I had one more. You saw it. You all saw it. We're really going to work off technicalities now, aren't we?
Yeah.
And Jack is just going to go, hey, man, come on. That clearly wasn't a person, to be fair.
Whoa, it's okay if we say he's not a person. It's not okay for you guys. No, I'm joking. I did not say that.
Oh my God.
Abyss is Abyss. That is what Abyss is. So with the tie, how do we settle this? How about I come to your show and I'll pay half price to get in. And I still
Ooh.
will...
Porky Blue is going to walk over. He goes, yeah, I like that. You should come to the club tonight and we'll have a face-off in front of a real crowd, in front of a bunch of people. Henry the Horses brings in hundreds of people a night.
Oh,
We'll see then who's the better player, and he gestures between the two of you.
New deal. You guys accompany your friend here, but I also get accompanied by Moon.
Ooh, interesting.
Moon, would you play drums for me tonight? I know you're a good session musician. I know you can handle whatever I throw at you.
But we've never played
Kief,
together.
yeah,
think
let me
you'll
get
feel
a
it.
Constitution save. Oh, 17 is pretty good. Yeah. At that, you've got a slight hesitance because of the unease over, what is your history with this guy? Why does he seem to know you from memories you don't have? But you easily feel like he has the talent to where you both could accompany each other. You don't feel super compelled to turn it down. But what do you decide to do?
Well, how would we know if the crowd likes my drums or your music better if I play for you?
Well, you get to play for both of us. That's the thing. You can play for them, and then you can play for me. It's the ensemble that matters.
Red will come over too and say, longest standing ovation, that could be the simplest matter. Don't you agree? And she
Yeah,
looks at
I agree with
Brown.
that.
Nice. Brown will nod along gruffly and say, fine by me. If you get accompaniments though, I want Jack. And he points at his bassist.
You can have them all with me and Kief and then one other member. I promise you. We'll put on the show of a lifetime.
One other member, and who would this be?
My good
You're
man,
not
Mystical.
taking another one of the big bands.
No, no.
And as Leadbelly starts thinking of Mystical, Arthur calls out to his captain, Captain, you gotta hear this song. I'm feeling it. Y'all inspired me. He's got electric boots, suits. I read it in the magazine.
Okay, so
No,
it's Mystical,
Lenny and the
not
Jets.
Arthur. He's in Lenny and the Jets. Fuck.
The Jets.
Lenny will come over and kind of sing along. It's like that staggered back singing you'll do when you don't really know the song, but you want to join in. But he eventually catches on and you guys join together. Lenny and the Jets.
Okay, so he's obviously drunk. Not Arthur, but Kief and I have another bandmate named Mystical, and he's already with me. So he's resting right now, but I'll make sure he's in tip-top shape before we play.
Oh, Captain. Squint pipes up. He gets really tense. He goes, let's not make bets we can cash now. Mystical, he needs some time and care. He's
The
not
Squint's
looking
sucking
too
off
well.
his magical energy. He's a traitor.
Arthur, you're drunk.
I would do no such thing to an unconscious man.
When he was conscious, that's why he's
Oh my goodness.
Keith lets out a chuckle. You guys are kind of a weird bunch.
That we are.
You don't say.
If
Lenny!
if we can't get Mystical on his feet before the show, I will play gladly with just me and Kief. You can have as many
And Arthur.
accompaniments
Lenny and
as
the
you want.
Jets.
Corky Blue is
We're gonna
tickled
sleep
by
on
you,
that one,
Arthur,
Arthur.
and he joins you guys. He's joining in. Lenny and the Jets.
Yeah, Lenny and the Jets. Hey, kids, plugging the faithless. Maybe the blinded, but Lenny makes them ageless. Lenny and the Jets.
Beetle Brown will come up to you, Leadbelly, and he'll extend his hand. He goes, I can abide by these terms. I accept.
Beautiful. I'll see you tonight. How do we find it though? Where is this? Just north of this town?
It's just an hour's walk north up shore. Yes.
Okay, then we'll see you there. And then I wink at Moon before I leave. And I will take my exit out of the bar towards my ship and yell to the crew, guys, keep drinking if you want. I'm going to go take a rest for a little bit. And I'm going to walk out of the bar. And as soon as I'm far enough away from the bar and like almost to the ship, Leadbelly is going to break down in tears and be like, Moon, save! And yell it up to the skies.
What does he yell? It cut out a little bit.
Oh, Moon's
Sorry. What does he yell?
alive.
Nice. It. I'm gonna say it echoes out across Old Beach Haven.
Let's go.
So, kind of on the opposite end of whatever that last interaction was, Moon's gonna look over to June and he's gonna whisper, say, "Did he wink at me? Does he have a crush on me?"
She just chuckles as she takes her seat, and she's like, "Honey, I think he had a crush on me."
Well, did he wink at you?
Honey, Lenny and a chance.
I think he made little passes, but it's fine. He was cute. I don't care. It's whatever.
I want you all to know that, like, the whole time this has been going on, Arthur's been going on in the background with Lenny and Quirky, I guess. And we've all been singing Lenny and the Jets this whole time as background music.
Quirky Blue at one point, he kind of falls out of line. It becomes too funny for him, and he's kind of like, he staggers away. He's like doubled over laughing. It's good natured, but he just can't hold it in.
No, it's fine. We're having a good old time on this piano. We're inspired by the captain and his newfound crew making all this music. And I found Lenny, and now I'm singing Lenny and the Jets.
Nice. I'll say that Abumi is going to come over to you, Kiryu, and say, "Where's your captain going? Go get him. I'll go open up the market now. That was a lot of fun. He's an excellent performer."
Yeah, I think that's the problem. He went so hard that he has to rest now.
He is your captain, though, is it? Surely he's in charge of the coffers. It would be important he's there, no? I know how you sea rogues like to operate.
Well, I can handle that stuff. I'm the best captain after all.
Oh, I see. A man of authority. Wonderful. Well, come along with me. Gather whatever crew you want. We'll just make a quick thing of it before I head off to the circus.
And I look at Mitch.
I'll pull us back here to this roughish overmap. This here that I just pinged is the Shoreside Saloon. As you guys come out of the door there, you'll notice the old man still fishing, still drinking, while you guys do notice the Tweedle brothers on deck at the ship, and Lead Horse is over here just kind of grazing under the sun and on the earth.
All right, so where is the shop?
Yeah, he'll lead you over here to this building. He fiddles with the keys and he's like, "This is my market here, but I plan to expand it at some point. I came down from Big Town, but the bazaar there was too inundated. It was too much competition. And I mean to restore this little haven to the glory of the old days." As you guys enter, you see row upon row of odds and ends, like he said. The main walls are lots of special looking items, quite a bit of lumber, a few assorted notable looking things that might pique.
Hmm.
First of all, though, Abumi is going to go behind his counter and he's going to pull up a big case in a wooden trunk. He opens it up and he's looking around in it, gently moving things around, and he pulls out a set of glass blowers tools. And he says, West Blue made, imported specially for me. I do have my contacts around the world despite being such a small timer.
Oh, nice.
Typically, a set this nice goes for 300,000. For you, make an exception for your very first purchase here at Old Beach Market, 200,000. It's a steal. I'm not making any money off of it. Of course, look around too. He leans on the counter now. Look around, peruse. If you have any questions or want to see the extra special items I keep behind the counter here, let me know.
I mean, is there anything else that would take my attention?
Yeah, I mean, there's some good builder's grade lumber all around that makes you think of the belly boat pretty instantly. It looks, a lot of it is not going to be, big or small enough for the belly boat's purposes, but there are some, like specifically there are 2 posts and 2 panels that could be easily fashioned as repair items. For other items, a little more specific, right away, you'll see a rifle on the wall behind Abumi with a scope on it. It looks very high powered. If you want to roll any sort of insight, anything like that, I believe your passive is 19 though. Correct me if I'm
18.
wrong. 18? Okay, well, that's still plenty high enough for you to tell that this is very, very well made. You can't make out the exact make and model from here, but yeah, that'll be the main thing behind the bar that catches your eye.
All right.
Oh, do you want to take a look at that? It's a very nice sniper rifle. High velocity. Made by the Traipse Rifling Company. Another import, this one from the North Blue.
Interesting. So would he be better than my gun? I mean the shooting part.
I'm not sure better off the top of my head. Let me refresh my memory. But I can send you its stats here if you like.
Because if he's better, I'm taking it apart and upgrading my gun.
Okay, I sent that over to you. And as he's showing it to you, he hands it to you over the counter. Boomy is going to add, I'm selling that one there for $1 million. I got it surplus. Only reason I can sell it so low. Usually those go for a fine penny more.
Oh yeah, this is very good. Yeah, I think I might take it off your hands.
All right. Unfortunately, I can't offer you any further discount on that one like I could for, just about anything else in here. So, $1 million up front, my friend.
The question is even do I have $1 million on me?
I don't know, do you? He's just standing there. He doesn't look impatient or anything, but he's waiting.
Yeah, I think I do.
Well, where have you been keeping your money? Just the typical gold?
Yep.
I always forget this exchange. I just do the
Yeah, the
money
thing
and
is,
stuff
I'm
right
keeping
then.
my own exchange.
Oh, what do you mean?
Like, every time I do it differently because I forget how to do it the last time.
Oh, I see. Well, I mean, you guys do have an updated tally on the belly boat.
Yeah, if it is any problem, I'm just gonna take from the bailboat to make sure.
Gotcha. Be sure to update all that as you go. We'll just go ahead and say you hand that money over to him then.
Yep.
You're also going to notice some other interesting looking stuff as you go around. There's this really interesting looking chainmail corset behind the counter as well. It looks like it was built for a really big person, Kiryu, and by your estimation, looks to be about Leadbelly size. They're on it's like the stand shelf that you see when you're checking out of a convenience store, maybe, or just got odds and ends on it. But you see some knuckle tape. It's for like calloused hands specifically, but it's pretty reminiscent to you of like boxers or fighters or wrestlers who would put the tape on their knuckles.
Yeah, we don't
There's
need that.
also there's also this can in the counter behind the glass panel. There are two of them actually, and they have the words in bright, colorful, cheerful, inviting lettering, caustic caulk.
All right. What are those about?
Oh, yeah. This is something experimental, discontinued, I think, but not barred from the market. He's pulling it out and places it one of the cans on the counter. I ask that you please don't open it. It is highly toxic, highly corrosive. I have tested it myself. But it's an interesting thing. It didn't take off the way that they thought in the military industry, so they figured maybe for, kids' pranks it might take off. Parents didn't take to it at all. Don't have to tell you that twice. Maybe
Yeah,
I
I
would,
figured.
actually. I don't know. You don't seem old enough to be a parent. You must not be. Excuse me.
Yeah, I got that right.
It's interesting stuff, to tell you the truth. I'm sort of trying to just get it off my hands. I could sell it to you 400,000 a can.
All right.
Tell you what, you buy them both, I'll knock it down to 650,000. He pulls out the second can, places it on the counter, kind of like shrugs, like, what do you think?
Yeah, that sounds good.
All right.
Yeah, also, I take out the robotic arm I have on me and showing it to him. Do you seen any
Ooh.
technology like this?
And he points at it and he's like, huh, how did you get your hands on that?
Well, it's made by the by my master, the one who taught me about everything technology. And some of the technology got into the wrong hands.
Okay. Who is your master? Someone at Shepard Ergonomics? I'm very confused. You'll have to excuse me.
Oh, no, it's Dr. Schnitzel, if you heard of him.
I can't say I have, friend. I'm sorry. This came to me by way of my contact from Shepard Ergonomics. There were some, like I had with the others, surplus items that I know of, and this came to me in a crate of 5. They were very hard to get rid of, but I sold that one. I sold that one to a good buyer of mine. He stares at you. It's in very curious condition right now, I must say.
Yeah, who was this buyer, if I can ask?
Better yet, why don't I ask you how you acquired this hand?
Well, you know how it is when you're selling, you get into conflicts.
You get into conflicts. He kind of levels out as he blinks a couple times, and he leans on the counter. Is Revan still alive?
I don't think so. I genuinely can't remember it.
If you can't remember, okay. No, Kiryu would know that Abyss has been carrying his skull around on his belt since you guys defeated him. I'm gonna say you need to roll me a persuasion.
Yeah, I don't remember killing him, that's for sure.
If that's what you say, okay. A 6 is not gonna pass either way, but if that was what you said, that actually did change the DC. That's interesting. But a 6 is not gonna pass either, I had in mind. Obumi just kind of shakes his head and curses. He slams his fist on the counter and says, God damn it. That was a good contact. You and your friends put out of business. Do you know that? He always came through restocking and resupplying. He was a solid goddamn client. What
Well,
else would it be?
wasn't my fault that he attacked us.
Sure, whatever you say. I'm sure one of you has a bounty I haven't heard of that's astronomical, and he thought he was bigger than his britches. He was always a little bit like that, wasn't he? Don't get me wrong, we weren't friends or anything, but that's a steady stream of income I can't rely on anymore.
Well, maybe I can do something about that.
What do you want to do about it?
Maybe make a new, I don't know, new string of contact. Get you supplies.
I can't exactly fathom how you're going to do that. I have a nice network of contacts as it is, but I don't know. What do you propose specifically? I like your train of thought. You're trying, at least. You didn't have to do that.
Well, for example, like the ore you just told me about in the tower, I could probably easily enough go and take it and share it with you.
You're
And
going to
that's
share
just
what with him?
the ore.
He strokes his pointy beard again. He goes, okay. There's not much left, but it would certainly help. Interesting. If you want to take it on and see what these strange golems have to say about you intruding on the tower, I mean, feel free, I suppose. But like I said, I didn't ask you to do any of this, so at your own volition, but I could also help you finish up your shopping experience if you want to buy anything else. Thank you. I don't mean to sound rude.
Well, it's just yeah. Let's just call you.
Oh, here. You can't buy the rifle without any ammunition. He
I make
reaches
my own
under the
ammunition.
counter. Yes, well, here. Go ahead and buy the box too, because you'll have 20 to start out with, and you can experiment and craft or do whatever. And
Oh, sure.
that way, if you can't make this special ammo, you can still have these in reserve. And he puts down a box of 20. That'll be 200,000 if you want it.
I mean, look at the bullets. Can't I easily recreate them?
These are a little more special. This is high velocity ammunition. It's packed with a super propellant of some sort.
All right. Now the question is, how much of the cruise funds can I spend right now?
Right now we're verging on 2 million. 2 million buried. Is there anything else as you look around you see, like, some other stuff on that little shelf by you, little like medicines and stuff like that, just convenience store crap. There's glass blowers, tools are still in front of you. There's other odds and ends, of course. If there's anything in particular you're looking for on the shelves, just call it out.
Yeah, nothing really that grabs my attention.
All right. As he tallies that all up, he writes it out on a little piece of receipt paper and tears the two halves off. He lays one in front of you and says, that'll be 1,850,000 berry, please.
All right, so for clarification, what did I buy? The rifle, the
the
chainmail?
sniper rifle. Oh, you wanted the chainmail too?
Oh, yeah. For Leadbelly.
Okay. For the chainmail, he pulls it down off the wall. He goes, very, very fine armor. Old world. It has withstood the ages. I'm selling a piece for 750,000 berry. No exceptions, I'm afraid.
All right.
So the armor is a go. We're adding that. Is anything else you want to add, Kiryu?
I don't think so.
Okay, in that case, the total comes out to 2,600,000 berry, sir.
Yeah, I'm gonna pay with the cruise funds.
All right, be sure to mark that down on the belly boat funds, and we will we will figure out your money situation, your personal money.
I think I have
after.
23,000. 230,000.
Okay, word. Yeah, distribute that however you want then, between your own funds or just through funds, whatever you want to do. Just make a note of it. Let me know. Yeah, okay. Everybody else, where are we? How are we wanting to check in? Leadbelly, you were heading back to the boat, was that right?
Yes. I'm gonna go because above table. We do before we start going into the shit again. We need to definitely long rest because we just got out of that last fight. But on table, I'm going back to the ship to try and heal Mystical to get him up and motivated to play.
Interesting. Okay. Back here at the belly boat map, just pretend there is a dock over here to starboard. Leadbelly. As you come aboard, the Tweedle brothers, they're both still looking pretty worse for wear after their ordeals, but they're at attention. They're chuckling together and drinking from a cask of ale. And they look over at you. They go, "Captain!" They wave. "How's it going here in town?"
Oh, it's going very well. Arthur is extremely drunk. He met up with his good friend. I think his name's like Leroy or something like that. Leroy and the Jets. So I think his last name's the Jets. Yeah, he seemed like a really nice guy. And then I ran into someone too. I need to speak with Mystical if you guys don't mind still holding down fort for me.
Ooh, Club is gonna, he just grimaces and he gets up. He winces, he's limping over. He claps his brother on the shoulder and makes the slow venture over to you, Captain. He leans in and goes, "Look, I've heard a little bit about how you and the old bloke go back. I'm very sorry I haven't had the pleasure of meeting him while he's awake. I'm no doctor, but I don't think he's going to be talking to you." And he winces as he says it. He goes, "Sorry, I'm not very good with my words. He's in really bad shape."
Do you think we need to bring a doctor here?
I don't know, but he's not waking up. And every time we've changed the bandages, it just keeps bleeding.
Leadbelly's gonna run downstairs at that. He's gonna realize like the severity of the situation and make his way down to Mystical.
Nice. As you come down, you would notice, Mystical is unmoved. He's still just laying in that same spot, passed out. Spenny is way over here, asleep, snoring loudly.
Yeah, as I run by Spinny,
I'm gonna say Club.
Oh, never mind.
Yeah,
I didn't run by
ahead.
him. No, I was gonna say as I run by Spinny, I lean in, kiss him on the forehead, and say, "Fuck you, Spinny," and keep running.
Hell yeah.
Um.
Yeah, Club will slowly make that journey over to join you. And he gestures at Mystical and say, I don't know. Like I said, I'm far from a medical expert. I'm not even, tell you the truth, I'm the brains of this operation with me and my brother. That's about it. I don't know much else about anything.
Listen, don't worry. If you don't got brains, we got people with brains. So we'll figure this out. That's the benefit of being part of the Sakura Pirates, The things you can't do, the rest of us can. Now watch this. I'm gonna cast Cure at level 2. I'm about to do some wild shit, guys. I'm gonna cast Cure at level 2 on him. And then, hold up, I'm not done. This is on Mystical. I'm going to... Sorry, I have to find my character sheet. Use Harmonic Vitality as well. I'll send that to chat. So he gets an additional 1d6 of healing as well. And then, on top of that, I'm going to beg and plead with him for 10 minutes, saying things like, Moon, you need to, Mystical, you need to wake up. Moon is here. I need you to play with me on stage tonight. Please wake up. And I'm just going to keep doing that. And think about it as like when Bon-chan was trying to wake up, or like get Luffy to rise during Impel Down. Which will give him, let's see, 5 plus 9 extra HP as well. Let me roll that D6. So, let's see, 12, 18, 27 hit points.
Wow. Oh. Sometimes you guys with like the numbers games astounds me. I am gonna let me call a real quick like 90-second intermission. I want to leave us there on a like mini cliffhanger. Session's still going, but I'm gonna call a slight intermission and leave us hanging on the image of Leadbelly grief struck as he is I imagine like on his knees or something begging for literally 10 minutes to Mystical. Wow, interesting. I'll be right back, gang.
Like and subscribe, party people. 2 hours in, first intermission. How we all doing? You enjoying the sesh?
If you're watching this live and you haven't already liked and subscribed, what are you doing?
What are you doing? I'm so excited. Yeah, dude, Lenny and the Jets was killing me. That and Arthur being like, I trust the captain, and Mitch being like, the captain didn't know what money was. Or what did he say? The captain didn't know what money was. Like
the captain knows everything. The captain didn't know what money was.
Literally right across the bar. That I picture it like that because our conversations were running parallel, like all three of the groups. That right when Leadbelly was like, I don't like when he was like didn't know what smoking was. That's when Arthur was like, the captain knows everything. Captain didn't know what money was. Just oh god. Lenny and the Jets is the greatest thing ever, though. It's like one of the most memorable things I've ever heard from one of our sessions.
Next session's title is Lenny and the Jets.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to make a thumbnail for Arthur where it's Elton John behind him.
Oh, it's just gonna be Arthur and Lenny standing back to back.
And instead of saying Rashwanark on the thumbnail, it says
You would
Lenny
need
and the
that.
Jets.
You would need the pixel art stuff that Angel had, so you could just type in anything you're doing.
Yes.
I got you.
Where did Angel go? He just like dipped. I know he's been having internet problems lately.
Yeah, I think that's what it is.
Chat. We're in the lull of the stream, and everyone else is reacting to the One Piece chapter. You know what that means? That after that's done, everyone's gonna come here again. The good times.
Yeah.
Wody.
Never let me go buy things again alone.
Yeah. You spent all. Listen, I don't think anyone in the crew really minds that much, but Mitch is gonna be pissed. He loves money.
We interrupt this program with Lenny and the Jets.
Lenny and the Jets.
And yeah, we really need that long rest.
I love
Hey,
my
kids, have
return
you
was
seen the
just the
cowboy
chorus
fella?
of Lenny and the Jets. He's making the verses. I love it.
Yeah,
That has
yeah.
to go in the Leadbelly songs, please.
I will
That's
write out
awesome.
all of Lenny and the Jets. for
That's
Arthur.
awesome.
I've been inspired.
Okay. Are we all ready?
I am so ready.
Yep.
I think so.
All right. Coming out of that Leadbelly, that epic display of friendship and pleading with Mystical in an effort to get him awake from this wound, Tweedle Club just kind of takes a step back to lean against this bed and watches in silent, stunned awe as you beg and plead. There is a moment where the wound seems to bleed more and Mystical starts to look pained in his sleep. And then, as the wound sort of heals, you see Leadbelly, you see this little ball of lead get pushed out and up out of Mystical's torso.
He had a lead belly.
However, he's not awake.
So I think he's going to be
He's
okay.
not.
I think he just needs to rest more.
He's not quite awake yet as you're still begging and pleading with him.
Mm. Now I'm sad. This is Club, right?
This is Tweedle Club with you, yes.
Okay, yeah, sweet. I'm going to look at Club and be like, listen, stay up top deck. I'm going to stay down here with him for right now. And then Leadbelly's going to lean against Mystical's cot, kind of lay back against it and just rest there. I'm going to stay here a while. If anyone comes looking for him, tell them where I'm at.
Sorry, I was getting a few things set up. So sorry to cut you off.
You're good.
I will say, in the middle of your display for Mystical, I would like to cut. Sorry for the intermission. I had to think and remix a couple things,
you're good.
but I want to pull us to something slightly ahead of schedule. As we come down here, Kief, if you could add your tokens down to your big band. This is a few days ago. Actually, more like a few weeks, excuse me. The big band was heading to the club for rehearsals as usual in the late afternoon, chatting about something or other, when all of a sudden, Kief, who was just, by his estimation, starting to find a foothold and feeling of normalcy in this post-memory loss life, heard his name shouted out by a total stranger. Kief!
Huh? Kief turns around.
There is a man you do not recognize at all. He carries he's actually pushing one of those carts with a trash can and a broom and mop and stuff on it. And he has tears in his eyes as he abandons it and comes toward you. You can see he's missing teeth and ear. He's scarred all over. Some fingers are gone. But as he gets to you, he picks you up. Oh, did you step back from him?
Yeah, I don't know.
He makes a move like he's going to scoop you up and hug you. And as you take a step back alarmed, he starts crying more. He goes, "What's wrong? What's wrong? I know I look a little different, but please tell me you recognize me."
You're the janitor, right?
Yeah, I'm the new janitor. He puts a hand over his eyes. He's shuddering as he cries, and then he looks at you with the most desperate look you've ever seen on a person's face. He goes, "Surely you remember my name at least. I'm Mystical. Misty Cole, your old bandmate. Moon Kief, it's me.
Moon kind of turns and looks towards his current bandmates and says, I don't think we ever had a Misty Cole in our group. You guys remember him?
Purple Jack shakes his head. He goes, nope, this guy's never been in the band. And Misty Cole will say, no, not this band. The band. You know, the path. And
This
he is
is
crying as he says that. Could I get... Oh, go ahead, sorry.
Oh no, I was just saying, this is the band. This is the only band I've ever known.
When he says the path, go ahead and run me a Constitution save. Oh, okay. Interesting. Right. Okay. You are gonna get at a 13. It's a similar path of pain, like the crippling one you felt in the infirmary, and you haven't felt it since. But you feel more like a ghost of that pain. It's not full on, it's just enough to make you wince.
You said
However, you have no
the
memory of what
path?
he's talking about. The path, it was all of us. Bert, me, you, Leadbelly. Surely you remember little Leadbelly.
No, but why whenever I think about the path does my head hurt? And my mark?
Mystical looks pretty crazy now as he's like scratching his forehead. And he goes, no, it makes my head hurt too. And we're going to cut back to you, Kief, there at the table. As I assume kind of the party is still going on, a couple folks gone.
Sorry.
But you are thinking of that memory while concurrently Leadbelly is on board, supposedly healing this man, this same man.
Moon is gonna like sit down and try and kind of process all of what Leadbelly was saying to him and thinking back to what Mystical was saying the other day. And I know I'm setting myself up for failure, but I would like to roll an insight to see if they were lying to me.
Ooh, okay. Yeah, go ahead and roll that for me to see if Leadbelly and Mystical are lying to you.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean at a 15, or why is that at disadvantage? Did you mean to do that?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, I mean still at a 15 is pretty good. You're not gleaming much, but you do not get the feeling that they're lying to you. You similarly don't feel like it can be true. You still don't feel like it could be true. Beetle Brown is going to look across the table at you. He's helping himself to his third bowl of soup. And he says, what's got you so upset? Don't worry with him. I'm going to wipe the floor with him later on in front of a big crowd and remind him who the top dogs are. And we'll go on about our merry way while he remains some guy playing at a bar. You don't know him.
I know I don't know him, but I don't think they were lying. And whenever we spoke with Mystical, the janitor dude, a few weeks back, whenever he said the words "the path," my head hurt, and the mark that Mr. Mantang told me about started to hurt, which was the same type of pain that I felt whenever I was talking with Mr. Mantang about my past.
Corky Blue is sat back down now. He's still sipping on some ale, and he just shrugs and goes, I don't know, man. It just sounds like a couple of crazies who might be in coordination or might have just chanced upon the same reality together in their mania. You never know. There's lots of weirdos out there these days. And June Red is going to interrupt him and say, now, come on. They seem like all right people for the most part. The captain was nice. He was cute. He didn't seem like a liar. I'll give it to you, Kief.
Wait. What if I'm more famous than our band now? Yeah, that would explain why they knew me.
Purple Jack is just going to shake his head, and he delivers the rare chuckle, and he says, look what you guys did now, filling his head with a bunch of big thoughts. Guys, come on. There's obviously something strange here. I mean, he showed us a tattoo of the guy's name on his body. Keith,
That's why I'm saying
that
I
doesn't
might be
strike
famous.
you as Oh, you're serious. Okay.
It might be like a list of celebrities he wants to meet one day, and my name's gonna get crossed off. I don't want my name to be crossed off.
Beetle Brown pipes back up and he says, you're thinking about this too hard, Kief. Disregard them. They're small time. And we are the main act. We travel the world. We see sights. We meet new people every single day. Who are they? If anything, I think they're fans trying to ride on your coattails. Yeah, that's what I think.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I think I'm famous.
June Red just says, chuckling. Corky Blue goes, oh my goodness, Kief. I knew you were a bit of a head case, but I gotta say, brother, you're getting a little ahead of yourself. This is Henry the Horse's package. Anybody thinks of the big band, they see a bunch of tweeds in suits and beauties in dresses dancing around on stage while Henry the Horse does his thing. We're not too famous. We're just making a living.
Well, we've made enough. How much more of the world do we have to see before we can settle down?
Beetle Brown, he goes, you want to settle down? Things are just getting started. We are the first circus troupe to cross the seas. We have now operated in 2 seas. Why not a third? Why not all 4? Why don't we go down the Grand Line afterward? We're just getting started, Kief. We're going to play the whole way across the world together.
As Moonpiece just kind of sitting there, mulling over the words that he's heard from his crew, his current band group, and he's like, yeah, but don't you think that at the end of the show the music has to stop?
He looks at you, deadly serious, and he nods. He goes, yes, I suppose that is the idea. And no role required. You get another piece of that memory of Mystical, who was just some janitor to you, claiming to know you from an old band. You remember Beetle Brown was the one that ushered you all away, calling Mystical some crazy loon to keep away from. Another one of Mr. Mantang's projects particularly stands out in your mind.
What did you mean by him being one of Mr. Mantang's projects?
Huh? He just looks at you. He's not sure what you're talking about.
Well, after we had the run-in with the janitor, you said to not pay him any mind. He was just one of Mr. Mantang's projects.
Oh, that. Yeah, you know, his. How do you say it? His fixation with freedom. You know, the belief that everyone can be free.
What's wrong with wanting people to be free?
Well, nothing at all, dear boy. But, in my opinion, it is believing that everyone can be free. It is a fair enough desire that, frankly, anybody has probably had in their day, if not everybody. But it's simply not the way of the world.
Well, I want to be free.
He nods pretty bitterly. He lays it plain on his face and he goes, "Aye, wouldn't we all?" I'll lay it kind of open floor to the rest of the crew still here at the saloon. First come, or first call, I guess, first serve.
I'm singing Lenny and the Jets till it's time to go home to the ship and take my long nap. Nothing too fancy.
Right on. Lenny. Be there. We're here at the bar. Mitch, Abyss. Oh, Angel's still gone. Gotcha. Abyss? Oh, word.
Oh,
wait.
I'm technically in the shadow. That's why I'm technically not even at the bar. I'm with Kthor.
Kiryu.
Oh, gotcha. Cool. Okay. I want to bring us back to the belly boat deck, where Tweedleham is drinking by his lonesome. But Leadbelly, go ahead and drag your token back out. Either which staircase. You'll be walking out of it with a huge, joyful smile across your face, more than likely, because Mystical comes limping up behind you, kind of leaning on you for support, actually.
I told you I'd get him up.
Too. Yeah, he's like, he's clutching his chest as he comes with his right hand. His left hand is steadying himself on you. He's like, "Oh, I've never felt a pain quite like this. It's so specific. Feels like the center of my sternum is gonna explode."
Just don't try to overexert yourself. We still have a while before we need to do what we need to do. Now, Kief has definitely forgotten us. What you said is true. But I think if we both play with him, it may stir something deep inside him. Maybe he will remember the path.
Mystical grows tearful. He's still a little delirious from the pain too, so he's very obviously emotional as he clings to you and says, "Leadbelly, thank you for heeding me and going after." And he looks around at Old Beach Haven, takes in the surroundings. He goes, "Where are we?"
We're in the Rashwan Kingdom. Well, on our way to the Rashwan Kingdom. Somewhere. We're at a little, like, port, I guess is the word. I think our dock. One of those two words were used. But yeah, we went to a bar and Kief was there with his new band. And I challenged them to a battle of the bands almost. And it was a tie. So I convinced them to let us all play together at their gig tonight. The crew definitely needs to rest, though, before we head there, just in case things get messy. They tend to do that with us. And I'm not gonna lie, he described some man to me, Mystical. Manjang? Mojang? Mr. Mojang? Something like that. But he's a circus leader. And I think that guy has something to do with why Kief can't remember us.
No, Leadbelly. I'm sorry, you're off base there. Once you meet him, you'll understand. Mr. Mantang, well, in a way, he's sort of like the sun god. He's a man of liberation. He uses the proceeds from the circus to buy slaves from the underground market and free them. Most of them become fine paid employees. I was a janitor and I was earning enough to save money for the first time.
That's wonderful.
I don't think he's doing anything to Kief. I think this is something else.
Then we'll have to investigate further. Is that the word, investigate? I think it is. It's, yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what Bento said. Investigate. Anyway, if that's what you're saying, then I'm gonna trust you. I'm still gonna keep an eye out, because I have to. There's too many people's lives that I'm responsible for now.
He grips on to your arm and he goes, "You're a good man. That's why you're the captain. Thank you for everything."
You've been like a father to me since I was young, Mystical. It's my job to take care of you now as you get older. Listen, tonight, I need you to get rest.
Hey, I just look old. I'm not actually that old. I've just been through a lot. I'm not like decrepit. I just look rough.
I know, friend. I like that he got defensive about his age. So I'm going to put my hand on Mystical's shoulder and be like, listen, though, I do need you to rest before we perform tonight. Because we will be performing...
To what for you?
Oh, I said I need him to rest before we perform tonight. And I'm going to look at Mystical and tell him, I roll with me if you will. I'm going to look at Mystical and say, tonight we are going to perform the Serenade of the Encaptured. And I picture this as one of only a few originals that the Path was allowed to play together. And it was a symphony that expressed their emotional struggle being captured and forced to play in front of these maniacs. Like, it's a very emotional song, something that they all held in high reverence. I'll put it in chat as well.
Hell yeah, that is cool. I love that. And the Tweedle brothers are like, yeah, I can't wait to see that. But Mystical immediately starts trembling. He is visibly scared. And he just shakes his head. He goes, Leadbelly, look at what they've done to me. And he shows his hands. He's missing one finger from his left hand, two from his right. And they're shaking and old. And the joints are swollen and knobby. He looks at you desperately. He goes, I can't play anymore. I've tried. I can't do it.
Let me ask you a question. Can you move the nubs of those fingers?
Barely. Certainly not enough to play.
A twitch
I was
is
so
enough.
embarrassed.
Let me be your fingers, and I'll grow new fingers out of his fingers. If I feel your hand twitching just enough, I'll know that that is the finger you press down to play your trumpet harder than you have before. Let me be your hands. I've been planning this with Mystical for a minute, I'm not gonna lie. I was like, I'm gonna make him play again.
That's incredible. Most people would probably be terrified if you did this to their chopped off fingers, but Mystical's familiar with you. He's still a little nervous as, these unfamiliar fingers are grown out of his stumps, but I mean, his face is torn as he looks at you, but the chief expression is gratefulness for this display. And he just shrugs and goes, I have no idea how this will work, but thank you. I guess I wouldn't be a true bandmate if I didn't try.
Listen, it's just like when Bondi broke his finger before we had to play in front of like the high brass of the Celestials, and I had to be his finger. But that was just one. I have to be a couple for you, so it might be a little bit of a challenge, but I think we can do it.
Yeah. So what are the stakes? Who's the competition? How do we win?
Well, it's by standing ovation. Whoever gets the longest standing ovation wins. So we just have to wow the crowd, which is something.
His eyes go wide as saucers with fear.
Listen, we kept the entire celestial dragon from killing us by playing music. I think we can get a crowd to stand up for us.
Oh my goodness. Oh, if you weren't the man I decided to call captain. I don't know when we'll even have time to practice. Oh my goodness. But he's not disagreeing. He's not declining.
I think the muscle memory will come back. With your breath control, me hitting the notes that you need me to hit, I think we got this. I think we got this, Mist. I really do.
You guys share this heartwarming moment, and Ham will walk up and extend his hand to Mystical and say, haven't had a chance to properly meet. I'm Ham. I'll pull us back here to the overmap. Kiryu, you and Abumi are leaving. He's locking up behind you guys, and he's like, well, I think I'm going to be off. It's a long walk up shore, unless you all happen to be heading that way right this moment, and I could tag along on your ship. After all, you did take out my chief client, as you acknowledged yourself, and he gives you a little grin.
What do you want to do?
Oh, don't worry, he pats you on the shoulder. It was a cheap attempt at trying to get a free ride. He nods at Lead Horse over there. He goes, say, that horse wouldn't happen to belong to one of you, though, would it?
Yep, that's the captain's horse.
Oh, he clicks his tongue and snaps his fingers. He's like, oh, I've got a buyer who's been looking for a fresh new racing horse. That looks like quite the ticket right there. Oh, well. If your captain ever wants to sell him, let me know.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen. The captain is quite attached to it.
People and their animals. I'll never understand it. Anyway, maybe I'll see you up at the circus. Farewell.
Yeah, see you. I mean, I can give you a ride.
Oh, only if you're heading up that way right this moment. I want to go ahead and get up there. Don't want to lose too much of the day.
Yeah, well, I think we're gonna head that tomorrow, or at least I'm gonna do it. Like, it's been a long day.
Of course, of course. Well, safe travels whenever you make it up. I'll tell you about anything in particular to check out if I happen to run into you tomorrow morning.
All right, bye bye.
He heads off up shore. The folks in the bar, what are you guys? What are your plans? All right. In that case, we'll keep it. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Kief.
Yeah, I was gonna say Moon is gonna kind of like not really distance himself, but kind of like sneak away from his current bandmates and just go outside for some fresh air.
Okay. Definitely roll me a sneak check, please. Oh, wow, nice. Yeah, they're deep in some conversation about instrument care. You were just tuning in and out, and you managed to slip away. Nobody in the bar saw you slip out.
And Moon's just gonna kind of like walk along the shore almost. It's like kicking rocks, staring up at the sky, and thinking about all the stuff that's happened to him since he met Mr. Manting. And he's like,
Off.
organizing.
Oh,
No, you good.
go ahead. All of your 13 passive. As you're walking along the beach here, if you're looking up, especially, that's what stood out to me. You're gonna notice something move on top of the tower. It looks like a figure. It stares down and then kind of like darts out of view as you make eye contact with it. You're not going to be able to make out much detail though.
It immediately already slips out of Moon's mind as he's focusing on more pressing matters of trying to recollect his only current thoughts and trying to glean back into the past to try and force himself to remember.
Yeah, as you're scouring your mind, you know, all these memories replay in your head of Mystical and now Leadbelly just about an hour and a half ago or so when he came in. As well as, those flashbulb memories you had when you were waking up out of your coma and images of Mr. Manting, sometimes, posing as the ringmaster of the circus, doing his job, you could say, and sometimes as the caring father figure of the circus in a lot of ways. He's an orphan himself, but you don't know too much about his past, just that he is sort of a freedom fighter, as they call, for the slaves, having so much money from this circus. As you think of all of these things, please roll me a history check.
Not bad.
At a 15, Specifically, your mind wanders to the name, the path. And it seems like before you in the sand is this path of sheet music as your mind kind of wanders and you daydream and you hear the song that you heard when you were passing in and out of consciousness in Mr. Manting's clinic. You recognize that song as the Serenade of the Captured. No idea where that name came from, but it suddenly comes to you. And your mind, you know that feeling you have when your mind knows something is true, even though you can't say why you know.
Yeah. So, as Moon's just following the sheet music, he's trying to envision what the other instruments would sound like in the accompaniment, but he can only piece together what the drums would sound like. Because he would only be able to read the sheet music of the drums. He wouldn't be able to understand the other instruments' way of playing. So he's like, I don't know how the rest of the song would go, but I can follow the drums. And as he's walking down the beach, he's going to be like hopping and skipping as if he was playing on the triple bongos that he has.
Oh, that's so cool. Throw out a performance for me, bro. Nice. Wow. Okay. At a 16 on that. As you're going along, I mean, you hear the drums crystal clear. You hear the drums come through crystal clear in your mind. You hear that same distinct piano, that beautiful playing that came from this stranger Leadbelly. You're also picking up some sort of brass accompaniment that's coming through. Some of it more distant than others, but two in particular are there at the forefront. You hear the distant reeds as well. Very, very far off, subtle. You want to hear more of them. Nice. That was cool. Good roll there.
Is this the path that I was meant to walk? Is the path to the path?
I'm going to say you suddenly find your feet in the water. You've kind of like stepped into the surf slightly. Roll me a Constitution save. You are crippled with pain as that same path shoots from the back of your head down into the brand, and it forces you to your knees there in the water.
Question, how deep is the water?
Oh, I mean, like, picture it to scale, you know, like you're not like out in normal human size depths, but the surf is just barely coming in around your ankles.
Okay. I'm sitting here, I'm like, I'm only 8 centimeters tall. I'm down to my knees. I might be in this water.
No, you're good. You're not drowning or anything. You're like just on
Okay.
the very tippy edge.
But yeah, as the pain goes through his body, he's gonna kind of think that he's on the right path, because from what he's gathered so far is anytime that the past memories are coming back to him. He feels the pain from his head to his mark. So him feeling this from the water, as well as thinking about the path and the music and the two strangers that he met recently, he is kind of more so shocked and like frozen in place from that, on top of the pain of like, it's almost like the brain explosion with the space galaxy background. He's like, it all makes sense now, but he still doesn't even know how it makes sense or what makes sense about it.
Nice. Yeah, those were some good rolls, barring the save, of course, unfortunately, there at the end.
No, I like it
Yeah,
for storytelling.
I'll kind of talk a little bit more about what that all means, but that was actually that was huge strides there. As the pain subsides and you're able to get back to your feet if you like and get back to moving. Unfortunately, that beautiful path of sheet music and the melody in your head is gone. The symphony is gone. Anything else over here while we're with you, Kief?
He's gonna kind of, since you were saying that he could hear the rest, like partially fading in and out, the rest of the accompaniment, he's gonna be trying to commit that to memory, but not like, if he had a full band playing it, he would be able to know it by hearing it, but like just the startup, he'd be able to nail down.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah. While you're not hearing it, sure, you do recall how it went, to the best of your abilities. We'll deal with any potential roles there a little later down the line, but yeah, I like that a lot. Arthur, is there anything at the saloon you want to bounce us back to? Otherwise, I'll take us back to the belly boat.
Nope, just making my way back after the drunken splendor and singing of Lenny and the Jets.
Wonderful. I'll say Mitch will accompany you there along with Glory, as well as Lenny, tagging along, still enjoying the fun.
Lenny and the
Man.
Jets.
This is a mighty fine ship you guys got. And
Thank
Lenny
you.
looks at the severe burn marks on the center mast and he goes, aside from the obvious, what happened there?
Something like Guards of the Coast or something. I don't know. We beat them up.
The Coast Guard lit your boat on fire?
Yeah,
Wow.
it was pretty cool.
Never a dull moment with you, Arthur, huh? Just don't stop. Lenny puts his hands in his pockets and stares at the burn marks.
Arthur falls face forward. Out cold.
Lenny,
He's
you're
drunk.
welcome to stay on our ship tonight. Well, not because it's like earlier in the day, isn't it? Right now, aren't we just gonna sleep until we have to go to the show?
Yeah, right now it's about 4 p.m., probably a little after 4.
Nice. We're all gonna rest up before the big gig tonight. I suggest you do the same so you and Arthur can do some more drinking together.
I'll sleep this off, I guess. Thanks for offering me a place on your ship. I really appreciate it. I'll try to lend a hand where I can while I'm here with you.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it.
I guess I'll start by getting this old lug off to bed. And Lenny's going to kind of gather you up, Arthur. And he'll carry you over to the stairs and just kind of walk down with you slowly but steadily.
Hell yeah. Lenny and the Jets.
Lenny and the Jets. Leadbelly's gonna motion to Mystical and head down to get some rest. And instead of sleeping in the captain's quarters, he's gonna sleep on the floor next to Mystical's bunk.
You cut up a little bit there. I think I
okay.
caught it though. You're gonna sleep next to his bunk instead of in your quarters.
Yeah, like on the floor next to it. Before we head
Sounds
out.
good. I'll pull us down here and yeah, I'll go ahead and say that Mitch is gonna sail you guys up shore.
Oh, hell yeah.
To get you to Mr. Mantang's if you like. While
Yes,
you guys
please.
rest up.
Did
Is
Mikey
there
cut out
anything
for
anybody
everybody?
wants?
Oh, sorry.
Oh, is there anything anybody wants to touch on here on the belly boat before the rest?
Well, I guess I'm gonna give Leadbelly the chainmail armor.
Yes, please. Yeah.
Nice, wonderful. I'll send you the specs for those in 1 second.
Beautiful. Finally, I won't die in like 4 hits.
Very nice, very nice. In that case, I'll pull us back over
The bar.
to the saloon. The band and the drunk rocker are the last remaining here at the saloon as you guys finish off another round of drinks. Beetle Brown slams his down and wipes his hand off with the back of his mouth. He goes, "All right, why don't we go ahead and head on back? I think I've had my fill of drinks for the afternoon. Don't want to get too loose for the big show tonight." They'll sort of get up. They're looking around for you, Kief. Are you going to slip back in?
No, I'm still wandering around outside trying to find the rhythm.
Interesting. Okay. June Red is going to be the first to notice. She looks at the seat and goes, "When did he slip off?" I'm going to pull us here to this over map. Give you a rough estimate of kind of where Kief is heading off to if he's continuing to walk down that beach, kind of moving off into up ahead. You see this thick, swampy terrain that starts to butt up against the beach and then fully hits the coastline and touches the sea. You've been here on this island about a day and a half now. You know that this is one of the chief territories of the Roshuan Kingdom, the wetlands. And I'm going to say that will be the point as you kind of get up right to the border of these lands and start setting foot into the swampy marsh, we will go ahead and call it there for today's session, to be continued. Great little roleplay session, gang. I had a lot of fun with that one. There was a lot of stuff I wanted to explore, and there's a lot of stuff we went off script for that turned out like really, really good. So thank you guys for being here today. Lots of fun.
Oh yeah, that was a good session.
I want
Captain,
more.
Captain, we need to find the doctor.
What doctor? Doctor Who?
Yeah, that guy.
I do have a question before we round off. Do we get a long rest or a short rest?
Yeah, you guys are going to be able to get a full long rest.
Oh, let's
before-
go!
It's time to murder. I mean, yay.
So that's why he wasn't murder hobo today.
That's crazy.
There was method to the madness, indeed.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, great session down here at Old Beach Haven. We'll see what we have in store for our crew next time.
Yeah. Does anybody have
That's all
anything they
for
want
me,
to
gang.
promo or anything before I end the stream?
First video on the SSJ8 Cody YouTube channel going up next Friday. Look
Let's
out for
go.
that.
That's what's up. Rambling Addiction returns this week, so make sure to stay tuned for that. It's going to be a very spicy episode. Does anyone else have anything before I end stream?
Ooh, we got a dawn session coming up on the 16th.
Yes, we do. That is right. The Eternal Dawn's
Hey,
One
let's
Piece D&D
go.
sesh. We are also monthly there. We will be back Sunday, the 16th at 11 a.m. EST. But yeah, if that's everything from everybody, thank you guys so much for watching, and make sure that you have a wonderful, wonderful night.
We'll see you at the next dawn.
You tried to sneak in Cube's line.